All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And I titled this video, Let Me Show You Something. And the reason I did was because what I'm going to show in this video is just a series of just a few accounts of the fear of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, because now this right here, this page is a Thousand Ways to Die. It was a show that they used to have come on. I think it was Spike TV. I don't even know if Spike is still there anymore, but I know this was a show, A Thousand Ways to Die, and I don't remember if it was like these events that they depicted in the show were based on true events that happened, or if some of them were, or if none of them were. But nevertheless, this is one of them that I definitely remember. Okay, now they call it Verminated. Verminated, and I'm gonna read I'm not gonna play the video of it, but I will read what the plot was, what the video actually shows. And in here, it's pretty much one of the, in my opinion, is a horrible way to go out. Okay, nevertheless, we know. Let me read this precept first. Okay, and I'll bring it in full circle. This is the book of Psalms. All right, this is the book of Psalms. This is Psalm 68, verse 20. It says, "He that is our God is the God of salvation, and unto Yahweh the Lord belong the issues from death." Okay, that's Psalm 68, verse 20. Okay, and as you can see, I'm gonna read it again. It says, "He that is our power." All right, he that is our power is the power of salvation, and unto Yahweh the Lord belong the issues of death. Now, when you read Psalm 68, I just want to show you something, so I'm going to pull it up real briefly. When you read the Psalm 68 and 20, you'll notice. Let's see, 68 and 20. Well, we're going to see the word God in there, but in the scriptures, there's times like in this example where the word God here is all caps, right? So in here, when you see that G-O-D in all caps, the Hebrew there is actually Yahweh. So whether they maybe instead of putting all Lord in all caps there, they had God, or whether it's deliberate. There's a difference between the God lowercase with just a capital G, which in the Hebrew is Allah or Elohim, and God, G-O-D, all capital, because in the Hebrew there's Yahweh, as I'll show you right now. All right, you can see here Allah for this one, and when you come down to the all caps, you have here Yahweh. Okay, so the point that I'm making is that the issues of death belong to Yahweh. So let's actually look up the word issues. Okay, the word issues here, we have, that's quite a long word, Thawataza Wath. Thawataza Wath. Okay, now it says here, outgoing, going out, source. So what does this mean? This means that whenever somebody dies, okay, or before they die, the way they're gonna die, when they're gonna die, how they're gonna die, all of that is determined by the Lord. He sends out that hit, right? And the angels carry it out by whatever form he wants it to take place. So if somebody gets mauled by a wild animal, that is an issue of death that was sent out by the Lord, saying that at this particular time, at this particular location, by this particular animal, this individual is going to get mauled to death. So the Lord is the one who designs death, how it gets carried out, and all of that. Okay, so now that we got that in here, let's take a look at this account. Verminated, right? 1,000 Ways to Die. Verminated. Now it says here, verminated, the plot. So what happened here? It says a convicted robber. Let me zoom in a bit. And the reason I'm bringing these out, which is not really going to do justice compared to what we're about to witness very soon. But this is why the scriptures tell us. Since I'm here, let me just pull that up first. In the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 31, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God, of the living power. Why? Because the Lord can do things to you that are worse than death. And if he decides to take you out, he can take you out in some of the most gruesome, painful, worst ways possible. The Lord can have your life be miserable for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and then he could make you be put to death in a brutal, painful, slow, and agonizing way, where you feel everything. And that's why you fear the Lord, because his judgments are great. So let's read this about verminated. It says here, and a lot of people going around, in that spirit of being fearless, of not fearing our power. Well, when these intricate, brutal, painful judgments go out, the fear of the Lord is going to come back very quickly. And you notice usually when the Lord determines judgment on you, when he pronounces judgment on you, that's supposed to take you out. If it's by a disease, that disease is incurable for you. Right? And sometimes you read that in the scriptures that there was an individual that was smote with an incurable disease. And then it goes on to explain how severe and painful that disease is or was. And now we're coming into a time like never before. So imagine what kind of judgment you won't see judgments now that you can't compare to any other kind of judgment. So it says here, a convicted robber named Mort was on the run. His latest felony, armed robbery, would put him in jail for good if he was captured. The cops take a break, but Mort hides in a drainage pipe. So imagine a giant like sewage pipe, and he crawls through it. It says, because what better place for a human rat to hide out in? The cops gave up, with each other refusing to go in the pipe. So I'm not crawling in there after him. You tripping. It says here, Mort was not going to take any chances, so he continued his crawl, and the pipe kept getting smaller and smaller. So he kept on crawling and kept getting tighter and tighter and tighter until he predictably got stuck. So it got smaller and smaller and smaller, and now he got stuck. So he's stuck in this pipe. It says, in a short amount of time, he went from surrendering to apologizing to crying, which is going to be the case for a lot of individuals. They're going to go from pride to apologizing to fear, or pride to fear to apologizing to crying to begging for their life, and none of that is that's going to be to no avail. Because the only way you escape judgment is if the Heavenly Father shows mercy. And the Lord said in this time, he's not going to be showing mercy to people. Only his elect. So it says here, they turned to night, and for the first time in his life, Mort was scared. Make that terrified. Mort heard a sound, so he lit his lighter to find out what it was. So he's trapped in this sewage. It's dark now. Forget him not having eaten. You're probably starving or thirsty, or maybe you got to use the bathroom, but you're stuck in a pipe. And it's nighttime, nobody's around, you screaming for help, and nobody can help you. You stuck in the pipe. Shit. It says here, so he's in the pipe and he hears some sounds. So he lights his lighter to find out, okay, what is that? It says Mort saw some rats appear, causing him to scream. Oh shit, what is that? It says needing a way past Mort, the rats attacked him. So imagine the rats coming, right? He's trapped, right? And the rats are in front. They're coming towards him and they're trying to go past him, but he's in the way. So these rats need a way to get past Mort to get to the other side to go wherever they're trying to go. And lo and behold, Mort is stuck here looking directly in the face of these wild ass rats. And let's see what these rats do. So it says here, Needing a way past Mort, the rats attacked him, ate through his eye, right through his brain. Unfortunately, Vishalai Rayo says that this is one of the most gruesome deaths imaginable. Yeah, because he was literally trapped in a sewage pipe, and rats were eating through his eyeballs, through his eye sockets, into his brain, and ate through him. It says the next morning, Mort's face had skin ripped away, his eyeballs destroyed, and brain matter eaten away by the rats, sending this robber to the hell he deserves. Okay, so this is just an account from yeah, there we go. Yeah, you saw it. Yep. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about, and that's why I put this picture here. I'm gonna zoom in a bit more. Can't really zoom in much more than this, but there you can see his face has been ripped up. His eyeballs are no longer, because the rats ate through it, and they ate his brain and whatever else. And this isn't, see, if a rat bites your eyeball, if a rat would, and you, matter of fact, hold on a second. Let me do this right here. Let's go to Google and let's type in images, or actually just type in rat. There we go. Maybe, and some of you might, you'd be creeped out, because you get an up close picture. Oh, Lord have mercy. Look at this joint. Right now, this is a naked mole rat. Still a rat, but it's a naked mole rat. And you see this teeth? See that shit right there? Let me see. Maybe I need to be a little bit more specific. Let's pull up rat teeth. All right, because these rats, man, what in the hell? What? Why? Why? What the hell is wrong with people, man? Anyway, all right. So here's looks like an image of like a rat skull. So you can see here rat teeth. So you can see here they got the frontal part right here. Okay, you can ignore this. I don't know what kind of demonic ass shit is this. Let me just scroll up. There we go. All right. So you can see this. You see that? Imagine that not on your freaking finger or your hand, your eyeballs. All right, teeth like this, munching and gnawing through your damn eyes, man. Right there. See that? Just chewing away. Like it's I don't know, what do you call them? Twizzlers or some shit. Twizzler, whatever, that candy. All right. And he just gnawing and gnawing and gnawing away. So this man is stuck in a pipe, and these rats with their sharp ass teeth, they pull up, and their whiskers and shit, and they pull up like, oh, it's feeding time. Okay. Yeah, they taking chunks out his eyeballs and everything. And you think he wasn't screaming? Of course he was screaming. But he's trapped in here, and his eyeballs are being gouged out and chewed by rats. And then eventually they enter through the eye socket, and then they get to the brain, and then they start eating. What type of pain do you think that is? Now, like I said, whether this is just like a made up scenario, or whether it's based on something that actually happened, the Lord can do things like this and much worse. You may say, well, at some point when they bite into a certain part, then you're not, you die. But the Lord can say, I'm gonna leave your spirit in there, and you feel every bit of it. I might just heighten up the pain, so the pain hurts even more. And then after that, I could bring you up to the spirit world. Okay, and the point that I'm making here is the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, can do that to you. He can have you in this condition or in a much worse condition where you are suffering in continuous, excruciating, gruesome pain. And you're screaming out to help, you're screaming out, crying for help, and there's no way, nothing that can be done for you. So you fear the Lord, and so that way you don't end up on that end of the spectrum. Because lo and behold, the judgments that are going to be going out at this time is going to be going out exceedingly. Okay, so the next one I have is actual account in the scriptures, and this is dealing with Jehoram. I believe he was one of the kings of Judah, or now it says Second Chronicles 20:21-16. Moreover, and this I'm sure there's many other instances of different things happening, but I just picked out a handful, maybe about two. just to help drive home the point of the fear of the Lord. Now, as we read these accounts of the judgments the Lord brought upon certain individuals, keep in mind that we're now entering a time when the judgments you're going to see now, you would wish that you rather got the judgments that happen to individuals like this than what the world is going to be going through now. So in a time like this, when the Lord is about to bring great judgments upon the earth, this is not a time to be playing around with the Lord, as a lot of Israelites are doing. All right. And so when we go through these scriptures, that's how you know a lot of these Israelites, they don't read these scriptures really. There's no way you can read the Bible and not fear the Lord with the things he's done and the things he's capable of. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yep. Dyed garments from Basra 144 Ba. That's like in Game of Thrones, where they strap a bucket full of rats to a man's stomach, and they put fire to it, and they ate through his stomach. Yeah, I remember that scene. They had a individual tied up in a chair, and then they lift up your shirt or whatever, and then they have like this bucket, and they attach it, they tie it to your midsection, and in the bucket are rats. So the rats are in there, and the only way is either through the sides of the bucket or your flesh. And then they heat up the bucket, so the rats are like, yo, shit, we got to chew our way out of here. They ain't gonna chew through the bucket. So guess what they chewing through? Your midsection, okay, your stomach. Now imagine that you tied up, and there's rats eating through your stomach. All right, it's they chewing away. You screaming and shit. Oh my God, whoa, Lord, please. Yeah, that's what a lot of people. Oh Lord, please. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. What you mean, oh Lord? Oh Lord, you weren't thinking about oh Lord when you were doing that wicked shit. So, and I say this always, that the Most High doesn't cringe. He doesn't see just no, that's too bad. No, because he's the one that designs. He's the author. Of course, they have councils in the heavens, and you got angels that will come out. Deaf angels that will come out left and right and say, "Yo, you know what? I'll kill him this way." I go, "Oh no, I could kill him this way. Oh, I could pull out his fingernails and poke it into his eyeballs and scoop out his pupil with it. Oh yeah, do that. All right, then he has the way to go and do it." So you just wait till the Lord unleashes this hell out here, and you're gonna find out why death angels are called death angels, why demons are all right. So it says here, let's read 2 Chronicles 21 and 16. Moreover, the Lord Yahweh stirred up against Jehoram the spirit of the Philistines and of the Arabians that were near the Ethiopians, and they came into Judah and break into it and carried away all the substance that was found in the king's house. It says, and his sons also, and his wives, so that there was never a son left him save Jehoahaz, the youngest of his sons. So he lost his wives, he lost his children, except for one of them, okay, Jehoahaz, which was the youngest. It says, and after all this, the Lord smote him in the bowels. So the Lord didn't stop there, taken away. Because one thing is, oh man, one thing with the Lord is so dangerous that he can say, look, I could do something to you, right? I can you as an individual, I can hurt you. I can hurt you physically. I can torture you. I can do all that to you, right? But you know what else I could do to you? I could set you up nicely. I can bring somebody into your life, make you fall in love, in deep, strong love, so much, so inseparable, that you feel like you're gonna die without this woman or this person, or this woman and these kids, and make you love your family so much, so that in that time I can then have your family brutally killed or tortured or suffer before your eyes, and then I have you suffer. Yeah, you think the Lord can't think that far? You think he can't think that deep? The Lord can set you up years in advance. And here it is, you doing wickedness thinking, damn, the Lord, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is blessing me. I got a fine ass woman. I got kids that I respect. Oh, I love this. not knowing that the Lord could have been setting your ass up for the future. So he's doing this so that when your family gets hurt, it hurts you even more. Don't you know the Lord can do that? Oh no, the Lord wouldn't do something like that. That's too cruel. The definition of cruel is created by the Lord. Okay, cruelty is a concept that was put in the earth. Who do you think put it here? That's why you want to make fun of Dagon and Baal and Molech and all. You can go ahead and do that. But the one entity or the two entities you don't cross are the Heavenly Father and His Son. And Israelites, all right, are crossing the Heavenly Father and His Son in the worst ways possible. And the Lord is not going. He's not going. The scriptures say He shall not at all acquit the wicked. You're not going to pass on by. You're not going to walk on by. The Lord will judge you. Okay, He's bringing judgment to the whole earth. And it's going to be painful. Trust me, it's going to be painful. This is yeah, that's right. King of Kings Yahweh Shai is coming soon. It's going to be on some Final Destination type stuff. Yep, that's right. Pillars of Benjamin, this is Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. And I said this before that if the second you committed adultery or murder or something, you went off, you were punished on the spot, people would fear even opening their mouth to say certain things, because the second you're dealing with a chick, right? Or you're trying to deal with another man's chick, and the second you go to, start the act, you just spontaneous combustion. You just set on fire or some shit, or termites out of nowhere just swarm you, or a whole swarm of hornets and bees just pull up out of nowhere and just start stinging you, right after another. See, if judgments like that went out literally right then and there on the spot, anybody, wherever you are, whenever you are, the second you start about to commit the act, boom, people would fear. Okay, people would be afraid. You want to know why people don't go around putting their hands in fire? Because judgment happens on the spot. The second you put your hand in fire, you're going to get burned. So people know better than to play with fire, right? That's why you get that saying, don't play with fire. So, because you know that judgment, the fire is going to burn your ass. But here it is when it comes to the law of the Lord, like as we read in Ecclesiastes 11, because the sentence against that evil work is not executed speedily. It doesn't mean that it's not executed at all. But it's not executed speedily because the Lord is being long-suffering. But when that time of long-suffering is over, which is the commencement of Jacob's trouble, there's going to be, I mean, just imagine how much executions are going to be going on out here with the Lord behind it. So it says back in 2 Chronicle 1 and 18, and after all this, the Lord Yahweh smote him, Jehoram that is, in his bowels with an incurable disease. See, that's the part right there. You got smitten with an incurable disease. What does that tell you? That means the Most High wants to take your ass out painfully in his bowels. That's internal. That's not topical. That's not outside. That's internal. It says, and it came to pass that in process of time, after the end of 2 years, so he suffered this pains and disease in his bowels for 2 years. Right? After the end of 2 years, his bowels fell out by reason of his sickness. So he died of sore diseases, and his people made no burning for him like the burning of his fathers. Now, when you look up this here in the other translations, let's see. In the NKJV, it says, then it appeared in the course of time, after the end of 2 years, that his intestines, all right, his intestines, however you want to call it, came out because of his sickness. So he died in what? In severe pain. And his people made no burning for him like the burning of his father, for his fathers. So he's going through all this pain, and there's no cure, no remedies, no painkiller, no nothing is going to take this away. The Lord is going to bring judgment without painkillers, man. So lastly, what I have here is the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 9, and this is dealing with the death of Antiochus Epiphanes. And one thing that's notable about this is we're going to read about what exactly happened to Antiochus Epiphanes, but now you need to also consider one factor as well. And that factor is Antiochus was a straight up demon. Antiochus Epiphanes was a straight up demon. This guy was a demon. The way, the pride, the wickedness, the things he did without fear to us, right? Without regard. So how painful did the judgment have to be that even a wicked Edomite as this individual was humbled so much so that he's like I mean he's trying to befriend us. He's saying, look, he'll do whatever. And it went just like that. We're going to read it just like that. His tune changed real quick. That's the power of the Lord. Having an Edomite crying and seeking for repentance, like, yeah, he still ain't get it. Oh man. So this is Second Maccabees chapter 9 and 1. And I'm going to read through it, at a moderate pace. So it says, about that time came Antiochus with dishonor out of the country of Persia, for he had entered the city called Persepolis and went about to rob the temple and to hold the city, whereupon the multitude, running to defend themselves with their weapons, put them to flight. And so it happened that Antiochus, being put to flight of the inhabitants, returned with shame. Now when he came to Ecbatane, news was brought him what had happened unto Nicanor and Timotheus. Then, swelling with anger, he thought to avenge upon the Jews the disgrace done unto him by those that made him flee. Therefore commanded he and his chariot men to drive without ceasing. Keep going, don't stop. And to dispatch the journey, it says to drive without ceasing and to dispatch the journey. The judgment of the Most High now following him. So he's on his way. Yeah. I'm out here. I'm finna go. Man, I'm gonna go mess these Israelites up. I'm gonna mess them Jews up. Man, they wait till I get there. Yo, don't slow down. And as he's doing all this, the judgment of the Lord is following him. So when you got individuals doing all manner of wickedness, guess what? As they're doing that wickedness, the judgment of the Lord is following them. All right, it's following them. And when the Lord says go time, it'll catch up to them. It says, for he had spoken proudly in this sort, that he would come to Jerusalem and make it a common burying place of the Jews. Wow, that's some wicked intent, huh? But the Lord Almighty, the power of Israel, smote him with an incurable, there you go again, right? Incurable. The same way the Lord smote Jehoram. And what happened to Jehoram? He died because it was incurable, meaning the Lord intended for this plague to kill your ass. It says, smote him with an incurable and invisible plague. Or as soon as he had spoken these words, a pain of the bowels, which is your insides, that was remediless, there was no cure for it, came upon him, and sore torments of the inner parts. So just as he was talking, and man, that's the kind of judgment that we looking for, because as you're saying certain things or you doing certain things, judgment is just gonna come upon you. But you know what? The Lord has everything set for an appointed time. So it says here, and that most justly, for he had tormented other men's bowels with many strange torments. Verse 7, howbeit he nothing at all ceased from his bragging. So this guy was so proud. Keep this in mind. He was so proud. He got hit with this plague, and he still didn't stop bragging, talking his smack. It says, but still was filled with pride, breathing out fire in his rage against the Jews, and commanding to haste the journey. But it came to pass that he fell down from his chariot, carried violently, meaning because it was moving so fast All right. He fell out from his chariot. It says, so that having a sore fall, all the members of his body were much pained. So he must have hit the ground hard, probably broken some bones. It says, and thus he that a little afore. So who do you think was behind this? Him getting plagued, him falling off the chariot? The Most High. So now let's see how, let's see what happens, what becomes of this guy. It says, and thus he that a little afore thought he might command the waves of the sea, so proud was he beyond the condition of man, and weigh the high mountains in a balance, was now cast on the ground, and carried in a horse litter, shewing forth unto all the manifest power of God. Because nobody pulls a fast one on the Lord. Nobody disrespects the Lord. Nobody gets on the Lord's hit list and you just get to escape. If you end up on the Lord's hit list, you're done. And a lot of people are like saying, sign me up. Verse 9, it says, so that the worms rose up out of the body of this wicked man. So yes, you can picture worms springing up out of his body. Let me see if I could do something here. 2 Maccabees 9 and 9. Let's see, 2 Maccabees 9 and 9. Let's see if we can get another translation of that. All right. Sometimes they have the CSB. All right. So they have the NRSV. Let's hear that. See how it's worded. Okay, so it says here, swarmed with worms. All right. Let's see what else. The RSVCE. Let's see what we got there. Swarmed with worms. Okay. KJVA. All right. Yep, I think that's the one that we're reading now. It says, so that the worms rose up out of the body of this wicked man. All right. So let's keep on going. So you can at least get the visual of worms. So that means that his body was had to have been breaking down while he was still alive, to where it was breeding worms. See how disgusting that is? Imagine that. You're alive and your body is breeding worms. Worms. It says, so that the worms arose up out of the body of this wicked man. And whilst he lived in sorrow and pain, his flesh fell away. So his body started to rot. It started to break down while he was alive, in pain, in sorrow. And the filthiness of his smell was noisome to all his army. So not only was he in pain, his body is hurt because he fell. His body is being broken down while he's alive, and worms are, oh Lord, are coming out of his body. But now he has to deal with the horrible stench. Probably smelling worse. No, probably smell just like a decomposing body. And whoo, man. And the Lord hit him with that, man. See, a lot of Israelites you got to go read this 2 Maccabees 9 and see just one example of this was light work for the Lord, of what the Lord can do to you. One way he could take you out. It says, and the man that thought a little afore he could reach to the stars of heaven, no man could endure to carry for his intolerable stink. Now keep this in mind. He was a king, right? He was considered a king, ruler of that land. So these men that were supposed to carry him, right, in the control the horses, they were his soldiers, meaning that they had to do whatever they were commanded. So how bad do you think the smell is that even the soldiers who had to obey their king could not endure to carry him? It says here, therefore, probably should say he, being plagued, he began to leave off his great pride. Whoa, oh, did he now? So now this man talking about making Jerusalem a place of burying, and he's man, wait till I get there. Them Jews, man, I'm gonna mess them up. Now he left off his pride. It says, and came to the knowledge of himself by the scourge of God, his pain increasing every moment. So, can you imagine that? Worms out your body, you smell worse than a dead body, and you're in pain, and the pain is only getting worse and worse and worse. We've all gotten hurt before. Maybe you you stub your toe, or like maybe something heavy drops and smashes on your toe, or you get, somebody who's turning around and they don't see you, and they elbow like the side of your face, you know, or you get hit in the back of your head with a football or basketball or baseball bat. So we've all been in pain before. And what usually happens is you get hit, your adrenaline kicks in, but the pain is just there, and you're doing whatever you can for and waiting that the pain subsides, because eventually, as the adrenaline kicks in, the pain subsides. So that's what you're waiting for. You may hit, you may turn around and not see something, and your toe, boom, your toe hits like the edge of the table. Ooh, and you don't even want to look at it until it starts to cool down a bit, so the pain can go down a bit, so you can bear to even look at it or touch it, right? So usually in our case, you get hurt and then the pain subsides over time. Or in his case, it was reversed. The pain was going up. Imagine that. Imagine if you stub your toe, and instead of over maybe after a minute or 30 seconds, instead of the pain getting easier and easier to bear, it's getting worse every moment. Let's keep on reading. Verse 12. It says, and when he himself could not abide his own smell. Ooh, he smelled so bad, even he himself couldn't tolerate it. But what you gonna do? You're gonna hold your breath, but you gotta breathe. You can't suffocate. If you don't breathe, you suffocate. If you breathe, you smelling something so bad that you don't want to breathe. The Most High is, man. It says he said these words, and this is, mind you, let's remember who this guy is. This is an Edomite demon who is proud and is in power. A proud Edomite demon who is in a position of authority. And this is what he said. It is meet to be subject unto the Most High. Whoa, what? How? An Edomite? A proud Edomite in a position of power said out of his own mouth that it is meet, it is good to be subject unto the Most High. Is that right? I thought this man thought he named himself Theos Epiphanes, God manifest. So clearly this guy was a proud demon. He thought he was on that level. And look how quickly he got humbled by the Lord. So ask yourself, how much pain did this man have to be in that he turned his tunes just like that? And this is something the Most High did. So do you really think that you want to be going around messing with a God like that, a God who can do something like this to you, and worse? You got to put yourself in, if that was you who got smitten with this plague, and you're just in pain, and the pain is getting worse and worse and worse every moment, and then it's incurable. You smell horrible, your body is breaking down, your skin is rotten. Damn, you're gonna wish you were dead. You're gonna wish that you were dead. You wouldn't want to be alive in that condition. Now the Lord says, no, I'll keep you there for maybe a couple months, maybe a couple weeks. I'll keep you there for a while. Oh man, oh man, oh man. It says here, it is meet to be subject unto the Most High, and that a man that is mortal should not proudly think of himself if he were God. I'm sure there's certain individuals out there who should come and read this verse and read it again. Okay? Talking about the greatest men on the planet. Come take some advice from Antiochus Epiphanes. All right? Because he can tell you firsthand. 2 Maccabees chapter 9, verse 12. And when he himself, Antiochus Epiphanes, could not abide his own smell, he said these words, it is meet to be subject unto the Most High, and that a man that is mortal should not proudly think of himself if he were God. Yeah, Khan, we read that earlier in 2 Chronicles 21 and 16, dealing with Jehoram. All right. It says here, continuing, where we at? Oh, verse 13. This wicked person. So in Tigers, he was a wicked individual, but even the Most High got him. How sayest thou righteous things, being a wicked man? It says, this wicked person vowed also unto the Lord, unto our God, unto Yahweh, who now no more would have mercy upon him. You hear that? So when the Lord smites your ass with an incurable plague because you out here talking shit, he's not going. Here it is. The only way to escape that painful plague is by praying to the Lord. But then the Lord is the same one who hit you with it and says, "No, I'm not going to have mercy on you. Don't even pray to me." It says, saying thus, that the holy city to which he was going in haste to lay even with the ground and to make it a common burying place, he would set at liberty. So look, the Jerusalem, they could do whatever they want. I'll give them the freedom. It says, and as touching the Jews whom he had judged not worthy so much as to be buried, but to be cast out with their children, to be devoured of the fowls and wild beasts, he would make them all equals to the citizens of Athens. Right? So these Jews who at one point, he said, look, y'all are so worthless that you don't even deserve to be buried. He said, look, man, I'll make them equal to the citizens of Athens. Okay? And Athens, the Athenians were high class. It says, and the holy temple, which before he had spoiled, which when you read in First Maccabees, the first chapter, it goes into how he spoiled and the temple and how it was rent, and it was the vessels were taken out, you had harlots in there, heathens in there. It was just horrible. It says, verse 16, and the holy temple which he had spoiled, he would garnish with goodly gifts and restore all the holy vessels with many more out of his own revenue, defray the charges belonging to the sacrifices. So he was so desperate and so much pain that he said, look, I'll do anything. Verse 17, yea, and that also he would become a Jew himself. All right? He would become, and Antiochus Epiphanes was in so much pain. The Lord judged him so hard that he went from looking at us as such worthless creatures that we didn't even deserve proper burials, that he was going to make us make Jerusalem a burying place of the Jews. This man said, look, I would forget Theos Epiphanes. I'll be a Jew myself. Please just have mercy on me. This is the fear of the Lord. It says, and go through all the world that was inhabited and declare the power of the Most High. He said, look, Lord, look, if you have mercy on me, I'll become a Jew and I'll go through the whole world and I'll declare the power. I'll be a prophet for you. I'll teach people about you. That they definitely shouldn't mess with you. And we're talking about a wicked Edomite who is proud and is in a position of power. And the Lord humbled his ass to this point. It says, but for all this, his pains would not cease. Lord said, nah, nigga, I need your ass to do that. You should have thought about that when you was doing all the wicked things you was doing. Right? Because here's the thing. When you have liberty right now, and when people say crazy ass things like what the ISUPK just came out and said, I'm adding to the things they've said before. Or when they're lifted up with loftiness and pride, okay, as a lot of Israelites are, they don't consider what the latter end, what the consequences of those things, of those actions are. Antiochus Epiphanes he never thought in his life he would be in a position like this. He wasn't considering this. And yet, look what happened to him. Hoping and begging and crying and seeking mercy. And yet the Lord said, no, you ain't going to get any mercy. And this is what you always have to remember. This is the God that we are serving. This is the God whose business we are laboring in. So for you to come and call yourself an Israelite and behave the way you do, just remember that the time like never before that we're coming into is called Jacob's trouble. that means your ass is in there. All right. So are you the Jacob that gets the trouble, or are you the Jacob that gets delivered out of it? So it says, let's keep going. Let's finish this up real quick. Um, verse 18, but for all this his pains would not cease, for the just judgment of God was come upon him. Therefore, despairing for his health, he wrote unto the Jews the letter underwritten, containing the form of a supplication after this manner. So this is what he wrote to us. Antiochus, king and governor, to the good Jews. Oh, all of a sudden we're good Jews now, right? We went from being so worthless we didn't deserve proper burials to now we're good Jews. It says, to the good Jews, his citizens wisheth much joy, health, and prosperity. Oh, so, wait. You're the same guy who said he was going to come make us a burying place, make Jerusalem a burying place of the Jews. Now you wishing the Jews much joy, health, and prosperity? It says, if ye and your children fare well, and your affairs be to your contentment, I give very great yo, this man is yo. It said, I give very great thanks to the Most High, having my hope in heaven. So all of a sudden, he became a believer. He's a believer now. Now he cares about our well-being, and he's giving thanks to the Most High. Okay. It says, as for me, I was weak, or else I would have remembered kindly your honor and goodwill returning out of Persia. And being taken with a grievous disease, I thought it necessary to care for the common safety of all. So now he cares for the common safety of all. Oh, he changes tone real quick. It says, not distrusting mine health, but having great hope to escape this sickness. But the Lord said it was incurable. You weren't going to escape it. It says, but considering that even my father, at what time he led an army into the high countries, appointed a successor to the end that if anything fell out contrary to expectation, or if any tidings were brought that were grievous, they of the land, knowing to whom the state was left, might not be troubled. Again, considering how that the princes that are borderers and neighbors unto my kingdom wait for opportunity and expect what shall be the event, I have appointed my son Antiochus king, whom I often committed and commended unto many of you when I went up into the high provinces to prove I have written as followeth. Therefore I pray and request you to remember the benefits I have done unto you generally and in special, and that every man will be still faithful to me and my son. Yeah, okay. See how Edomites work? See how these damn Edomites work? After all the shit he done, now the judgment is coming upon him. Oh, now you want us to remember the benefits. What benefits? Was slaying mothers and their children beneficial to us? Was forcing everybody to have to sacrifice each swine? Was that beneficial to us? Now you're getting judgment. Now you want us to remember you. No, we ain't gonna remember you. And that goes for wicked Israelites now. When judgment comes, you're gonna be in a case like Antiochus Epiphanes. And you're gonna be seeking help. But there's nothing we're gonna be able to do for you. Therefore, I pray and request you. Oh, I read that. Verse 27. For I am persuaded that he, understanding my mind, will favorably and graciously yield to your desires. Verse 28. Thus the murderer and blasphemer, having suffered most grievously as he entreated other men, so died he a miserable death in a strange country in the mountains. Okay? That's what happened. That was the fate of Antiochus's wicked ass. So you go around thinking that it's okay to play with the Lord. You got to go and read 2 Maccabees, the 9th chapter, and understand what the Lord is capable of. All right, and how much worse things can come upon you if you keep on in your wicked ways and you don't repent. Because ultimately, going back to Hebrews 10 and 31, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. All right, don't mess with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Um, that's it. That's it. So I'm gonna end it off on this precept. This is Jeremiah the Weeping Prophet 144. Um, Psalm 9 and 16. Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. See, and Antiochus knew him. He found out real quick, right? It says it says the wicked is snared in the work of his own hands, Salah. All right, so hey, we ought to fear Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. And after Jacob's trouble, I'm sorry, during and after Jacob's trouble, the whole world is gonna know and understand why Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is to be feared. So with that, I hope you've been edified. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. And until next time, Shalom.